We're live, part 2. Sorry.
Okay, so we had some issues, which apparently seems to be the theme. Unfinished things
The
is the theme
redemption
of the
arc.
episode. And we're talking about Anna Meredith's new album. Just to recap, just in case some things get lost in translation, like they're not in this episode, we probably have to cut it. Anna Meredith is a former BBC composer in residency. She experiments a lot. She's also a DJ. She experiments with a lot of different sounds, world renowned, all this stuff. That's you can Google that stuff. But varmints, like I'll just start from the top. Do you think that's better to do that again?
No, it'll be there. You have to just talk about. Yeah, I will. Talk about. I think you were on Skirmish.
Scrimshaw.
Yeah, Scrimshaw.
Scrimshaw is just. Yeah, so it starts with some synths, and then it starts, with a few other things. Some strings, really nice, really warm strings, and like there's some live drumming there too. But it's the sustained sort of build that it goes into. It reminds me a lot of the last song on the last Daft.
Yes, I was thinking.
Yeah,
Yes,
it reminds me a lot of the last song on the Daft Punk album, Contact. And it just builds and it's full of so many different things going on at once. And this is the time. Oh, and I remember we were talking about some people cry for different things. When I heard Concert for the first time, I teared up because I'm like, this is so incredible that someone can do this. I felt the same way about Scrimshaw. Honestly, it gets to the point where it really builds and it lets loose, and there are like 6 different things happening. So there's the beginning sort of almost like Genesis-esque, like chiptune or like synths going on in a pocket, and there's strings, and there's like there's normal strings like cellos and stuff like that, and then there's like a double bass going off, and then there's some 808 drums going off, and then there's like this weird approximation of a timpani going, and there's this wavering, really shiny synth going, and this is all just happening at once. And this is one of the examples where the album kind of reminds me of, you go into like a mass production factory and they have like robotic arms do for different things and stuff like that. A lot of the time I think about this album when I'm listening to like when it's really at its peak, because by its nature I think this is a really maximalist album. It's just all these different robot arms doing different things but making this one insane, crazy picture of just really controlled chaos, but really smart chaos. Like not just the kind of shit that's randomly being thrown at a wall, but the kind of stuff that takes intense composition skill and arrangement like chops. It's really some of the most impressive electronic stuff I think I've heard of this entire new millennium, this entire decade. And there's other songs that are thankfully less intense. Like Something Helpful is this weird sort of small, like almost it kind of like 90s Eurodance. And then there's just some weird like lush, like the band like lush like vocals just happening.
Yeah,
it's really
dream pop like vocals.
Yeah, it's really a nice compliment. It's really kind of just a sweet song. But as Anna Meredith and her crew want to do, no, not enough. Then it goes into fucking R-Type, which is a weird song, and I wonder if R-Type is actually a reference to R-Type, the game. But
I think it absolutely is a reference to R-Type the game.
Yeah, the way
album sounds like video games.
The way the song goes off, it reminds me of like a Tetsuya Mizuguchi composed song, which is like for those who don't know.
Chiptune as fuck.
Those who don't know, that's the dude behind Rez. If you haven't heard of Rez, the dude behind Lumines. If you haven't heard of Lumines, basically he's one of the leading sort of rhythm game like geniuses for his time. Yeah, R-Type just it's so busy and I love it.
Yeah,
there's like
good.
There's like a entire runs of clarinets going off and these really aggressive synths and just one live drum just pounding away and away, and it just builds with just some toward the end just like really stretched guitars.
Yeah.
It's so much mayhem. That's just the thing that I bring, that I keep like coming back to. It's so much mayhem that's composed so well. That's really, really hard to do. Even with songs like Show, which is literally unchecked, it's just things happening. That is just what, I don't know, what's gonna happen. As far as electronics go, the symbiosis of classical and electronic music is really one of a kind on this record. I can't really recall too many things that. I mean, you might get like something like Daft Punk where they'll have strings and then you'll have like vocals and stuff like that. But there's the combination of things here is really like bone deep, like really fine, like to the nth degree combination of things happening that feel not like two parts going at it, but just a collection of things that naturally occur in any given soundscape. I really do think. Sorry, I was coughing. I really am hard pressed to think of something that feels as fresh and innovative in 2016 in terms of electronic music, at least, as this record. It's kind of what I have to say about it. I'm still digesting it, and I listen to it almost every other hour at this point. It's, to me, I was looking for one of these kind of records, one of these kind of championing records. Like I think I'd take one or two on every year, and I just go as far as my feet will take me and spread the word. Suffice to say, I think it's a great record. Great record. That's all I have to say about that.
I'll pick it up.
Yep.
I'll pick this shit up. I had detailed notes written out, and then in the quest for trying to get Skype to work, I restarted my computer and didn't save my notes. So that's sad. But,
sorry.
The general idea of them was that I really was super into the incredibly complex, layered instrumentation that you've got, like, first, you've got all of these, electronic layers, obviously. But then just, like, the meld of live instrumentation was so excellent in the first track, as well as, like, other places where those sort of big band horns just fucking smack you in the face. And the drumming as well. Just really, really, really cool. The thing I was super into all of the tracks that didn't have lyrics, because I have to say something about this record that really did not stick with me was the vocals. I liked the idea, like I liked the melodies, and I really liked the harmonies later on. The harmonies were really good, but something about her voice just really did not do it for me.
That's understandable.
With this sort of backdrop, I don't know, because when I was thinking about other electronic albums with vocals, like Jamie XX is perfect with the vocal. It's either like really smooth or really, I don't know. That was a really good use of it, and for some reason,
I don't think she's doing the vocals.
I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's her or whatever, but the chick singer on it, I just did not care for.
I couldn't find out who like the singers were. I tried looking up like the credentials or personals, whatever. I couldn't really find anything, so I don't know.
Difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really, really did not care for the female. The only time I liked it was Something Helpful, when she's kind of singing this really sweet hook, but it's still, I don't know, she doesn't sound like a very polished singer, and usually that doesn't bother me.
It's Anna.
It is? Okay.
It's her.
It usually doesn't, like, I don't care if you're not, like, an opera singer, like, you don't have to be an amazing singer for me to, like, only like your music, but something, I don't know, the way that this music is tailored, I feel like it required a stronger singer for some reason, someone who could, because she's a little bit, not pitchy, but like, I don't know, she doesn't hit the notes as strong.
I think you're being a bit harsh.
I could be, but that's just how I felt.
think so as well. But yeah, I mean, it's your opinion.
Yeah.
That's just how I felt. I just didn't care for the vocals at all, but I liked the melodies. I just wish, I don't know, a different voice. But that's just like a minor thing, because on the whole, I still really liked the album. I really liked some of the vocal tracks. Taken is one of the songs that I think is fucking great. That's a really, really, really good song. Again, the harmonies really did it for me on that one.
Harmonies
Yeah, and then I do really like the chaotic build on a lot of these songs, on Taken, on R-Type, and I loved The Vapors is another song I thought was really, really great build with these instruments. Hit a really good crescendo. Yeah, good. And then like having tracks like Honeyed Words kind of reel it back in a little bit is like just really nice. Nice arc. Nice arc. And yeah, again, like Chewy said, this is one of the best, I think. People are really, really learning how to do electronic music these days. Like there's some new awakening, I think, with this the past couple of years, where I've just been like, damn, people are using sounds that I haven't heard before, and it's so cool. And this album, and it's probably because Anne Meredith is so classical inspired, she really understands music, I think, in a way that pop artists and such don't as much as people who are like trained musicians, I guess. So you can really tell that she knows what she's doing. She knows the elements of a good pop song, but she knows how to make it her own sort of really beautiful collective work, and it was good. Good album. So that's how I felt about it.
I'll pick it up.
Do it.
I thought this record was fantastic. I don't know, I was just really impressed. I'm kind of sort of the opposite. My favorite tracks on this record were the more vocal driven tracks.
I agree.
In fact, I wish there were more of them on this album, even though I think everything else is great. But but I absolutely love Something Helpful. Something Helpful. It's a fucking great song, and I just love how it builds up, and then there's the two vocal lines going on, and it's like getting louder and louder, much like most of the things on this album. But yeah, I really love all the mix of the sounds, and everything just truly does feel expertly done, and perfectly done, and done by someone who has every single idea of knows what they're doing. They know all the right sounds and all the right things. But yeah, I just thought this was an incredible record all around. Great. Second favorite record of the year so far. Fantastic. Great album. Those are my short little thoughts. Also like the mix of because this album had a lot more guitar than I expected, or like just live instruments in general.
Yeah.
Which even lead guitar playing at some points.
The Vapors. It's actually probably second to Scrimshaw one of the most complex songs, because it starts with these ping pong and really super distorted guitars, and then that builds into something else, and by the end, it brings in the horns, like a callback to Nautilus.
That was a great moment.
It brings it back,
shit.
and then it goes and it just fucking smashing to the finish. Then it goes with the Honey Word, which is just again a nice cool down. I know that was really intense and a lot of stimulation, but here's
some smooth.
Some little soothing sounds. Also, speaking of the horns, just something that's just a side note. The first track really reminded me of the first track from the Liturgy album from last year, the Artwork. It's like a chaotic, but less chaotic, and also more well done collection of loud horns repeating. But anyways, this is something that just randomly thought of. But yeah, I just thought this was a really great record.
All right. Dan?
So I'll go. Yeah, this album's fucking genius. I don't think that can be understated. I think this record is probably one of the most compelling electronic music albums I've heard in a minute. From someone who isn't like 1-0-Tricks Point Never. I think that Anna Meredith approaches electronic music, in a very interesting perspective, because she's indeed a composer, but she's an experimental composer more than anything.
Yes.
A lot of her pieces, I kind of gave a bit of a YouTube search after I listened to this record, because it kind of blew me away my first listen.
She has a piece. Is it a concerto? Or I can't remember what it is. It's an opera. No, I think it's a concerto with the beatboxer.
Yeah, I listened to Hands Free. She's also scored music for like MRI scanners. And
Yeah.
shit. And but most importantly, I just think Anna Meredith is one of those artists who just straight up doesn't fuck around with how they create their art. If I'm making sense there.
This is her debut album, right?
I never expected. Okay, first of all, I don't know why the fuck I haven't heard of her until Chewy mentioned her.
Yeah.
Because, quite frankly, she's like honestly breaking grounds. This record is so rated. I haven't seen anything.
I've seen some reviews. I've seen some reviews around it, but like not too much.
It got B&M on Pitchfork.
Pitchfork. Yeah.
That's all I've seen. This album, I really think, as of right now, in March, it's absolutely the best electronic album of the year.
I mean, sure. Honestly, if I'm being totally honest with you, I don't think, short of a surprise Daft Punk record, I don't think Daft Punk can even match it.
Yeah. No, I don't think so either.
And I love Daft Punk. I just don't think they can match it.
She comes from like this perspective of it's like, the best way I could describe it is it's like sci-fi video game freak folk made in a digital audio workstation. Like, it feels. You remember how we reviewed that Derridorian album, and I said it kind of feels like it's from another planet?
Yeah.
This just straight up is from another planet. This is not from Earth. This record comes from another realm. Like, it evokes feelings and textures that you would not usually hear. It reminds me a lot of like really early like Anko with like Here Comes the Indian style of just textures are the most important key focus in this album. Absolutely. If you're someone who's into things that are sonically interesting, this record will be so far up your alley, like it blows my mind. And honestly, my favorite track on this is probably Nautilus.
That's a great track.
Kind of reminds me of like the Imperial March. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You're expecting the second chord or the third or fourth chord just to start descending.
Yeah, like
doesn't keep going that way, but it doesn't.
No, it goes up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
I was really into that song. Like, the second I put it on, I was like, oh, fuck. This is going to be good shit.
There was another record that I reviewed last year on the site called See You in My Wilderness by Julia Holter. And Julia Holter is another experimental electronic musician. So when I was listening to Anna Meredith Environments, this entire record, I was getting big Julia Holter vibes, which is incredibly a good thing. It's a fantastic thing because, like, I don't know, like, it takes all of the aspects of experimental music, this, like, conceptual thing with every experimental electronic music, where it's like, it's got this conceptual thing that I just enjoy. Like, every piece never falters. There's never a song where I'm like, well, this doesn't sound like it fits.
Yeah.
Everything has, it's so, as I was saying about the K-Dot album, it's so concise. It's almost pinpoint accuracy. really is a work of musical genius, in my opinion. I can't think of another way to word it. It just, I love it. And I think every track on here is great, but like I said, Nautilus is probably my favorite. It definitely reminded me of, like RJ told me last night in the chat, like, that song sounds like Fanfare by Liturgy. And it kind of does. And so it's nice to see a record that I thought had really good ideas, but just was kind of poorly executed. It's nice to see some of those ideas popping up on different albums. And I'm super interested in whatever Anna Meredith has to drop next. I don't know if you guys have heard Black Prince Fury / Jet Black Rider yet. Her 2 EPs.
No, I'm gonna go back to those.
They're incredible.
When I'm done, like, soaking this thing in, I'll go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jet Black Raider actually has a Nautilus on it as well. So like this album kind of feels like a big, almost magnum opus in a way. I wouldn't go as far. I'd say it feels like one. I don't think this is a magnum opus, but it definitely feels like this was something that Anna was probably working on for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I think she did a great job. Also Blackfriars is one of the best closers I've like.
It's a great. Another thing, okay, I just remembered. So I have my collection of influences because I can only speak about the influences because the whole thing, there's nothing really like it. But for me, every time I heard it, I would hear new elements of things that that were interesting to me that she pulled from very disparate elements. Like I heard some of that creeping sort of fiddly Georgia Moroder, like early dance stuff, and then I heard some straight up Genesis style, Altered Beast, maybe like Rondo of Blood, like Castlevania style electronics, and really video game centric, but not like, oh, this is some chiptune. No, like it's I feel like, and I hope by some way Anna listens to this, that you can confirm it to me. But to me, it feels like she knows there's an art to video game composure that a lot of people don't look at. Like people people who did like the Castlevania soundtracks, and like people who did like the Metroid soundtracks, or most of Koji Kondo's stuff and like Mario and stuff like that. There's a composure element to it that people are like, oh, well, they don't look at it. They just look at, oh, I remember that chiptune song from Donkey Kong Country, and it's like, no, there's more to it than that. And that's what I like, that she went for the 16-bit era or 32-bit eras where there was more, generally more sophisticated sounding things that weren't just bleeps and bloops. It seems like the spirit she took out of that and put into some elements. Another thing this album reminds me, especially with Black Friar, I think that's what it's called, right? Or Black Friars.
I think that's
Tim Hecker. Tim Hecker,
yes.
Tim Hecker, like Virgin vibes on the stage. And I love Virgin. Virgin was a great exercise in just adventurous sound.
Speaking of electronic releases, Tim Hecker's dropping something this year. So
it's coming next month.
I'm not going to say anything, but I don't think he's threatening.
This would certainly be hard to top, but I expect a lot out of Tim Hecker.
I will just say I've been privy to some things. And I don't think Anna Meredith should be sweating just yet.
No.
But, the way it comes together, it really is, again, I'll say it again, it's the playful nature of sound that Anko was trying to do on Painting With. They just didn't do it.
Yeah.
There was something missing there. I think we talked a lot about, spoilers a little, we talked a lot about the magic being oddly hemmed in, like, weirdly stilted and not as spontaneous. This feels at once spontaneous and lively, but very, very orchestrated, which is a near impossible balance to hit. And I think it's something that that's one of the reasons why I will turn off from that Anko record, because I feel like they were going for that, but they didn't hit it, and it just felt in spots just uneven and just this is kind of canned. But there is just a whole body of work here, just a sandbox of different toys and elements colliding with one another. Like, I feel like within the album there is a language of sound and the way things go together that's almost narrative-esque in just pure joy of sound.
Right.
That I really respond to, like, really, I guess resonate with. Yeah, what Danny said. If you just like adventure sound, and seeing like where little leads go and the kind of story of music in that way in a really non what's the word, expository way, or non. It's not a singer-songwriter album,
Right.
but the music, there's a story to the music insofar as the story of just expression.
Mhm.
In that way, it's a little jazzy, even though there's not too many jazzy elements, but the way that things are put together
Yeah.
would evoke something jazz-like. I just think it's great. I mean, I didn't. I mean, I know I've made some clunkers. I'm not above criticism in making certain recommendations or just looking at different things. I mean, I like that Best Club record, but I understand. But like when I heard this record and I listened to it and I sat down, listened to it front to finish, got up and listened to it again, and I'm like, yo, we should probably review this album. I wasn't really fucking around.
We're not. It's
Yeah.
a good record.
I think it's just
It's
phenomenal.
It's albums like this that kind of remind me that even though there are bands like 21 Pilots in existence, music is still pretty fucking incredible.
Yeah, like hybridization and just
Yeah.
being actually experimental and taking different elements at an artistic level, not just throwing it together and then having your fans say, "Oh, well, the genre hopping. Genre hopping's lazy as shit." And here's why genre hopping's lazy as shit. Genre hopping isn't genre melding or genre, like there's nothing. It's not depth. It's all surface like skin.
Yeah,
It's like
Well, I
It's
think that
about
there are-
fusion and like making these things work together, not just fucking going
Yeah,
from this
just
to
like-
that.
yeah.
I think there are
totally.
bands that can do it, like Ween is a really good example. I just think that like you can't take yourself seriously when you're
But I
using
think
that.
Ween, yeah, that's the thing. I think Ween, yeah, there's a certain comedic level to what Ween does.
There's a playfulness about Ween. They
Yeah.
don't. They're not doing it
Ween,
for anybody else. They're doing it for themselves.
in
Yeah.
a lot of ways, kind of like how like Arcade Fire on Reflector were kind of like a different band on some songs, where they're like, yeah, they're pretending to be another band,
Mhm.
Mhm.
or like even the Beatles were pretending to be another band. Sgt. Pepper. I think that's what Ween does. That's just Ween's whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think 21 Pilots is good. I just think they're like, oh, well, that's cool. I heard that. Let me start rapping. It's
Yeah.
the worst sort of rap
Oh,
noise.
it's the
Like,
worst.
White boy, half funk,
Oh,
I
it's
can't
just the
when I rap
worst.
kind of shit. It's so horrible.
It's like
so
honestly.
bad.
And in fact, when I think, well, Daddy, you bring this up discussion, you're really fucking with my vibe. I was gonna have spaghetti later, but I don't really want it anymore. I'm really upset.
Hey, man.
Fucking 21
Look.
Pilots ruins your palate.
You made me listen to a Best Coast album. We can call even.
I'm sorry, those are not even. Those are not even. I
I didn't make you listen to 21 Pilots. I just mentioned it.
I don't think 21 Pilots. I don't think Best Coast is as bad as 21 Pilots. They're just. Here's my thing with Best Coast.
Okay, but I didn't make you listen to a 21 Pilots album, Chewy.
Best Coast at least does what they do. There can be no pretension. There can be no.
I mean, they do what Green Day does, sure.
Even Green Day does what they does. And I
Yeah,
can't
but they're Green
expect
Day.
that. Yeah.
What is this?
I'm sorry, 21 Pilots is. Anyway,
So
yeah.
if we were to rate, if we were to give Anna Meredith a
Is
score,
RJ
Yes.
dead again? Is RJ dead again? I haven't heard a single fucking thing from him.
Yeah, I was asking.
Hello?
Sorry, you're witnessing the slow death of RJ. He's drifting in and out of consciousness. The Georgia fumes have finally gotten to him.
RJ talked
So,
about
yeah.
this
Hello.
record.
Yeah, he did, but I kind of want to get a
Talked
score.
about it, but now he's gone.
Hello?
Oh.
Can I not be
But
heard?
anyways, he'll come back.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll give a score. I had a score generally, but it's difficult to say what I really want to put in there. But because honestly, between you and me, that score I gave Life of Pablo. I've thought about it a lot. I don't think it was amazingly high, but I think I would notch that down maybe a 0.3 or so. 0.4 even maybe.
What did you get?
Point-
You gave it a 9,
that's
didn't you?
I
Oh,
gave it
whoops.
spoilers, so I gave it a 9, but
A 0.3 out of 10? Oh my
no,
god.
I mean like notch it down to like a high 8.
Panned.
I'm gonna stick my neck up for this one and give it a 9.3. Higher than K Dot.
Alright.
Interesting.
Wait,
Matt,
I
what
can
are
be
you
heard.
thinking? What are you
Yeah.
feeling on this?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, did Chewy rate
Actually, you know what?
Meredith?
9.2. Okay.
For this record?
9.2 for this record. Yes.
Okay.
9.2.
Okay.
Yes.
I really, really liked this record. I don't want to, like, make it seem like I didn't like it because of the vocals. They just weren't my favorite part. And that's all opinion
Uh-huh.
in the end. So I'll just give it an 8.9.
That's a good score. That's a great score.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Seven, what are you feeling?
Okay, wait, can I be heard now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm feeling a real good 8 on this.
All right.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm
A breath of fresh air. This album was to me.
I think this was a breath of fresh air and a nice drink and a really good meal, followed by an intense 2-hour-long makeout session with someone you really, really digging. So I'm gonna have to give this one a 10.
Wow.
We got it.
You guys, I like this album. I think it's great.
I love this album. But damn, I wasn't expecting that. Oh.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, this is a fucking favorite. If this isn't on the end of the year list, then 2016 was a damn good year.
This
will be there. I will guarantee. I will fight.
Yeah.
And I told you that before. I can't remember what record it was, but whatever record it was, I fought for that thing to make it.
It was Poison Season.
Yeah, and where did it end up? On that top 10.
It did.
It was there.
Before we end this off, we got some news to cover. Just a little bit.
Just a few things.
So, Wilco just announced that they're doing a Grateful Dead sort of like album thing.
Yeah.
With a ton of people.
Bon Iver. Or Bon Iver.
Bon Iver, Jay Mascis.
Yeah.
Jay Mascis on it?
Yeah, Jay Mascis is on it.
Is he just going to play Jerry Garcia the whole time?
The Flaming Lips, Anhony, Courtney Barnett, members of Grizzly Bear, The War on Drugs, Perfume Genius, Unknown Little Orchestra.
I don't really care about Perfume Genius, but okay, you got me with that one.
Kurt Vile,
right.
And many, many more.
I want to. You know what? I don't really listen to Grateful Dead at all. I think I listen to a few songs, but I want to hear this.
Yeah,
I really want to hear that.
It's gonna be.
My whole family loves Grateful Dead.
It's getting a really, really pretty vinyl pressing, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And on top of all of that, something else I didn't note is Jim James is going to be on it. That's pretty cool. And Arcade Fire's Richard Reed Perry. Lee Ronaldo is going to be on it. Angel Olsen from the Dirty Projectors is going to be on it.
Didn't she have her own shit last year? Unforgettable or what was it? Angel. She had a record like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
that's okay. Yeah, that was pretty good actually.
Yeah, it was good. Angel Olsen and what's her name? God, we just talked. Dara Dorian. They were both members of the Dirty Projectors. But yeah, it looks pretty. Yeah, Kurt Vile's going to be performing with Jay Mascis.
Damn.
That's going to be their little thing. I'm surprised that what's his face
like that last record.
isn't on it. Yeah.
Who, Lou?
Oh God, Mumford and Sons is going to be on it.
Well, it's been real.
You know, you got your ups, you got your downs.
Dude, I was gonna delete those.
Jesus Christ! How are you gonna get Jay Mascis and then follow it up with the Mumford and Sons? Anyways.
Imagine Jay Mascis playing with Mumford.
Oh shit! Tim Hecker is gonna be on this.
What the fuck?
What the
fuck?
That's so many people.
There's what? Stephen Malcolmus is gonna be on this.
What?
Oh my, yeah. This is
nuts. The personnel list. Like, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ, Wilco has connections.
I mean,
okay, anyways.
That kind of sounds about right.
Yeah. The Life of Pablo version 1.01 is officially out on Tidal.
Actually, I think it's 1.02. I think it's 1.02 by now since Wolf's got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because Wolf's got it. So.
I'm looking at the Wolves
patch
patch notes.
After that 30-day trial up, y'all. Like that, I see you, Mr. West. I see you.
I'm looking at the Wolves patch notes right now. and
Right.
it looks like
Patch notes. Fuck.
Did it get
looks
buffed
like-
or did it get nerfed?
It definitely got buffed.
I think there were some nerfs on there, but I think overall it was a good buff.
I think the only nerf is Sia is clipping for some reason. Should probably fix that, Mr. West. That's a pretty amateur mistake there.
Right.
And I don't know. I enjoy Vic Mensa on it a lot.
Yeah.
And I think I enjoy the I think he should cut that. I know there are corny bitches you want to unfollow. I know there are corny niggas you wish you could unswallow line. I think that's a terrible line. It really should be cut from that song. Enjoyed the cut of Puerto Rican Day Parade on Famous. Famous is still not that great of a track, but you know, who knows? Maybe when we get Life of Pablo version 2.0, things will be changed.
Maybe that's when I'll get it again.
Yeah, we didn't cover this last week because we didn't know. So here's some more news involving Kanye. He's going to be dropping 3 albums this year. So not only are we getting Life of Pablo, we're getting TurboGrafx 16, which we knew about, and another completely untitled album.
That's
So
not
I
gonna
wonder
happen.
how that's going to sound.
It's not gonna happen.
Chewy said it best when he said, when Kendrick overshadows you with a random 8-track release, like, yeah, I'd be dropping 2 more records too. Like,
Oh, I did say that.
yeah, you could say that.
Do you guys have any hopes for TurboGrafx 16?
Kind of.
None.
I don't.
No, I don't.
I like
kinda do.
Pablo a lot. It's one of my favorite albums of the year, but I think he needs to really just get some collective. I think he needs to stop. I think he's having the opposite problem. He needs to stop releasing things.
Yeah, this is like the worst thing he could do right now, I think.
Yeah, releasing more things.
Well, it's certainly the best thing he could do right now, financially speaking, because as we all know, Kanye West is very much in debt, and Kanye West could slap his name on anything. He has Radiohead syndrome, where that name's on anything, people are going to buy it. So, you know, I think it's a smart business move. I think it's a terrible career move. Unless these albums are really good, and Life of Pablo was just like a little warm-up. Who knows? What
think
can you
that's
expect from
possible.
Mr. West?
We'll see.
Besides all of that, I think that's about it. Does anybody
Oh,
else
the
have
Death
anything?
Grips thing happened.
Oh, yeah. Death Grips dropped new instrumentals, 30 minutes or so.
Come to the guys in an interview video.
Much better than Fashion Week. I enjoyed Fashion
Absolutely.
Week, but
way
Interview
better than Fashion
2016 is
It's way
fucking
better.
incredible. And nobody knows, there's not a download link for it yet, so I don't really know if it's an album. It could just be a musical art thing. You
Yeah.
never know with Death Grips. That
You
being
really
said,
never know. Death
it
Grips.
could be Bottomless Pit instrumentals. That's what some people
I
say.
really doubt it, especially considering the way they like to do things. I really doubt it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
never
think
you
so.
never know. And Bottomless Pit might never come out. I'm kind of expecting that out of Death Grips. But who
Eh.
knows?
After
Nah.
doing
Oh yeah, another thing that I didn't know. Maybe you guys knew, but I didn't know. You guys remember No Doubt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
are
know
you going
who's-
to talk about?
Do you know
Go
who's
ahead.
singing for No Doubt?
Oh, isn't it the AFI singer?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
The-
that's going to
the
be
singer
nuts.
for AFI is singing for No Doubt on their new tour.
I don't know about that.
Meanwhile, Gwen Stefani has some great singles coming out by herself.
She does. Speaking of great singles, MIA dropped 2 singles about 6 hours ago.
Oh.
One of them is called MIA Ola, and Foreign Friend. Those are both pretty fucking gnarly. Excited for this new MIA album. And I think that's about it.
That's
All
a
right.
wrap.
All right.
That's a wrap. There you go. That's our news
This
section.
episode has been an adventure for us all.
It has.
Redemption arc.
My bad.
Right.
Drake has a line of whiskey coming out,
Ah.
and
Good.
Belize named an island in honor of DJ Khaled.
I saw that.
What's it? Wait, what's?
Let me check
Don't you
right
the
here.
best?
It's called Don't Ever Play Yourself. Island.
It's called. Oh my God! It's called Major Key.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Oh, yes.
That's,
What an
That's-
inspiration.
oh yeah. and what else we have? So next week, what do we got? Next episode, what do we got coming out? What are we gonna review?
Nothing.
I'm thinking maybe that new Iggy Pop Josh Homme thing.
But our next episode is the year-long anniversary,
Oh shit, you're right.
That's why I said nothing.
so it's gonna be a special one.
See, I was already ahead, man. I was already ahead of you dudes.
It's gonna be a special one where we do something special.
We're doing something special. You know, it's
Some
been a
jazz
year.
hands around.
So you know what we're all gonna do? We're all gonna get together and we're gonna play some Street Fighter.
If the fucking update is up. Like that.
Right?
Alex.
Alex,
Soon.
that's good. All right. I mean, this ends whenever we end it, guys.
I need to go.
That's true.
I need to do things.
All right,
Bye.
friends.
Goodbye, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Farewell. Have a nice day.
Listen to Animated album.
The redemption arc is over.
Knocked.
Yeah. Now we're gonna go back to the shit.